Everywhere we go online, we're leaving this trail, a trail of digital breadcrumbs. Our likes, our searches, even our location. But have you ever stopped to wonder who, or maybe what, is following that trail? Today we're going to pull back the curtain on the powerful AI that sees your personal data as its most valuable asset.
So let me ask you a question. Seriously, think about it for a second. If you had to protect one single thing above all else, what would it be? Maybe it's a family heirloom or a precious memory.
Well, when you're online, the answer's actually pretty clear. It's your personal information. Every little piece of it, your name, where you live, what you like, where you go, it all comes together to form this kind of treasure map that leads directly to, well, you. And just like any treasure hunter, there are always hunters who want to find it.
All right, so let's meet these modern-day treasure hunters. We hear the term AI thrown around all the time, right? But we're going to zero in on the real engine behind this whole operation, machine learning. Okay, first things first, let's get our terms straight. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is the big one. It's the huge overarching field. Think of it as the whole universe of trying to make computers smart. Everything from robots that build cars to a system that can understand what you're saying. So here's a really simple way to picture it. AI is the entire universe of smart computers. Now, inside that universe, there's a galaxy called machine learning, or ML for short. That's our focus. And then inside that galaxy, you've got even more specialized stuff like deep learning. They're all connected, with each one just being a more focused version of the last. Okay, so how in the world do these machines actually learn? What is it about our data, our treasure, that makes it so irresistible to them? Well, the secret, it's all about finding patterns. See, unlike a regular computer program where a developer has to write every single rule, a machine learning system learns from examples. It just sifts through massive, and I mean massive, amounts of information to find these complex patterns that a human could probably never even spot. Then it uses those patterns to make predictions, like what movie you're going to want to watch next or which ad you're most likely to click on. And what's the fuel for this entire process? Well, that's step 4. It needs existing data. And that data, that's our collective treasure. So what does a complex pattern even look like in the real world? Let's take predicting an Airbnb price. A person might just look at, say, the number of bedrooms. But a machine learning model sees this whole invisible web of connections. The neighborhood, the time of year, what's nearby, the feeling of recent reviews, all of it, all at once. It can even find these really weird, non-obvious connections, like maybe listings with blue curtains get 5% more bookings on weekends. That's the kind of wild insight it's built to find.
And believe me, this isn't just theoretical stuff. The impact is staggering. Check this out. By feeding its system with just tons and tons of language data, basically how millions of us actually write and speak, Google made a decade's worth of progress almost overnight. That's the incredible power that gets unlocked by our data.
Okay, so now that we get the why our data is so valuable to these systems, let's talk about the how. How do we actually protect it? It's time to put on your detective hat and become a digital investigator of your own information.
If you only take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Before you share anything online, just pause. Take a second. Ask yourself, who's asking for this and why do they really need it? You are the #1 guardian of your own treasure.
And these are the practical keys to your treasure chest. They might seem basic, but honestly, they are your absolute best defense. Think twice before sharing your full name, your exact address, or your school. These are the cornerstones of your identity. And if you are ever unsure about a request for your data, the best thing to do is just talk to an adult you trust.
We've seen how powerful machine learning is, how it's all fueled by our data. But here's the thing. This technology is only going to get more and more sophisticated. So the final question isn't just for today, it's for the future. As the treasure hunters get smarter, how will you get smarter about guarding what's yours?